When one hears the name Randy Meisner, not many would associate him with two of the most successful bands in the 1960s and 70s, and along the way, able to involve himself with some of the biggest names in music. Born to sharecropping parents in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, Meisner's music career started in 1961 when he was just 15 years old, where he was the bass player and sang for the band The Dynamics, who achieved some minor success with an EP released in 1965, after which Randy moved to California to become involved in the music scene happening on the West Coast. Releasing several singles over the next 3 years on various labels with limited success, Meisner's LA experience was less than stellar. In 1968, he auditioned for a spot in a new band being chosen over Greg Allman and Timothy B. Schmidt, helping form Poco along with Richie Furay and Jim Messina, later of Loggins and Messina. Meisner would only stay with the band through the recording of their first album, Picking Up the Pieces, leaving because of conflicts between he and Furay. In 1969, Randy would join Rick Nelson's Stone Canyon Band, staying with the band until 1970, when he returned to Scottsbluff working at a local John Deere dealership. In the fall of 1970, Rick Nelson reached out to Randy and encouraged him to return to California to resume his music career. And by mid-1971, he was recruited to be included into Linda Ronstadt's stable of backing musicians, where he would meet Don Henley, Glenn Frey, and Bernie Leadon. It was a meeting that would prove to be the beginning of probably the most successful band of the 1970s. The Eagles. While he usually manned the bass and handled backing vocals for the Eagles, he also played guitar on Desperado, On the Border, and Hotel California. During his 6 years with the band, he wrote and/or co-wrote songs on each of the group's first 5 albums, most notably Take It to the Limit, the band's first million-selling single on one of these nights. According to band colleague Don Felder, Meisner's time in the band was weighed down by his desire to be with his family, and after the 1976-77 tour in support of Hotel California, Meisner left the band. After leaving the band, Randy would release a few solo albums and resume his work as a session musician, working with fellow Eagle Joe Walsh. Plus, he would work with James Taylor, Dan Fogelberg, Bob Welsh, Richard Marx, among many others. Randy's later career had continued in the music industry, being a part of several Poco and Eagles tours over the years and working on his own projects. You could call Randy a rock and roll survivor, battling addiction, legal, health, and other personal issues to come out on the other side and still be able to rock.